Hello, possessors of the phallus and keepers of the cooch. This is Taylor, and I'm doing another Twitter Topics, as you guys like me to do. If you want to get involved, check the link in the description. My Twitter goes there. If you don't want to make a Twitter, I totally understand. Just leave a comment in the in the comment section, and I'll try and sift through there and find your question. But no guarantees as far as that. But I do know and fully understand those of you who are like, Twitter, screw that, I don't want to get a Twitter, because, I mean, it's understandable. Who wants to, look at people menially update mild events in their life throughout the day? I mean, who would possibly want that, aside from the people who follow me? Man, really not making myself seem very appealing here. But anyway, follow me on Twitter if you want to get involved. But anyway, on to these questions. And if you think you missed me tweeting out for questions today, you did not. I'm just going through the questions and topics that I got yesterday, since I got more than I could possibly answer. And I really want to start doing that more and make sure that I make multi-parts of these videos, because I want to make sure that you guys are actually feeling as though I'm addressing your questions. And if I can't get to it, I truly do apologize. I'm really not trying to ignore you. But anyway, now on to the stuff that we're going to talk about. Number one, from James Chaku. Thank you, James. Thank you for having an easily pronounceable name. It is ridiculous online how many people make their name just a horrible construction of random consonants with a bunch of numbers at the end. It's absolutely obscene. So thank you. Thank you very much. And I just can't wait until a couple minutes to answer a question that's from someone like XYZQQ. XY 2122167451, whatever the case may be. So, your inquiry, Mr. Chaku, is, God, I love that name. I'm probably not even saying it right, but you should say it like that, just so you know. That sounds cooler than Chuku, or whatever it might be. Whenever you're on PKA, Painkiller Already, and Wings always seems to disagree with you intellectually. Why is that? So, why do I always kind of play the devil's advocate on Painkiller Already? And if you don't watch Painkiller Already, it's a podcast with a few other gamers, Wings, Woody, FPS Kyle, and I'm a pretty frequent guest on there. And I guess the reason that I disagree so much with Wings and everyone, but I guess especially Wings, is that I just try to create tension, not tension, that's the wrong word, conflict, rather. If you watch that podcast, you know that the essence of the entertainment value that you get along with that podcast is the conflict. You really like watching them kind of hash through issues and argue, and everyone getting their point of view out there, and then kind of having a civilized discussion about it, along with some, humorous aspects included. And so that's why I do it, because even if I really don't disagree vehemently about what they're saying, I'm still going to play it up and make a minor squabble seem as though it's much more drastic, just because that's more entertaining. That's what people want to hear. That's what they want to see. And so don't think that I'm just some douchebag ass clown who in real life is immediately stopping people on the street and being like, hey, did you realize that in that conversation I was eavesdropping on that your grammar was incorrect? No, not like that at all, or anything along those lines. I really just do it because it's more entertaining, and that's what I feel people want to see. I could pretty much be wrong about that, but the way I see it is with a podcast, the regular members can't be too ridiculous, because they have to kind of hold the middle ground and make sure that everyone still wants to come back and watch them. You kind of have to assume the moderate position. But with me, I'm a guest, so I can say whatever the hell I want with little to no ramifications. So I pretty much take that opportunity to try and insert as many interesting topics as possible that perhaps Wings or Woody or Kyle would be too afraid to bring up otherwise. So I hope that answers your question. That was actually pretty thorough. Mario Coloma Jr. Black Ops 2, what do you expect? Alright, with Black Ops 2, really haven't put any thought into it whatsoever. Is that what it's called, really? Black Ops 2? I don't even know what the little subtitle is. Haven't done any research. That's a testament to the fact that I really don't care that much. But as far as Black Ops games, or rather Treyarch games as a whole, the only thing that I really care about is zombies. I just have a ton of fun with zombies. It's something that I can play for hours on end, not get tired of, really low stress kind of gaming, just have a good time with it, fool around, and then at the end of it, I end up having a lot of content that I can talk over for you guys, or I can do a live com, whatever the case may be. So as far as Black Ops goes, I'm really only excited about the zombies. The zombies are going to be awesome, because the zombies are always awesome, because they're zombies, and because it's cool. God, is this clear? Is this, everybody's getting this message? Zombies equal cool? Alright, anyway. A camping noob. What do you think about traditions that we all think is normal, like marriage or drinking coffee? I don't really know if drinking coffee is a tradition. Maybe here in the United States, but I don't drink coffee. I really don't like it. I tried really hard to get into coffee last year. Like, everybody on college campuses loves coffee and is like spewing about how great it is all the time. And so last year, beginning of last year, when I was still dating my ex, she and I like were trying to get into coffee because she drank coffee all the time. She loved it, and I was always trying to like go to Starbucks with her and try new coffees. No matter what I tried, no matter what new concoctions of seasonal delight they could try and conjure up back there, I just never found something that I liked. I just don't like coffee. I don't. I like tea. Tea is awesome. It's way less like harsh. It doesn't make your breath stink as much. Less powerful. I don't know. I just like tea. I'm not a big coffee guy. But as far as traditions like marriage, I think it's really interesting because you can almost see traditions like marriage starting to fall through. Like we've kind of realized now, like, hey, you know what? We can have a meaningful relationship with another human being that spans years or even decades without having to have a church or the state sanction that marriage for us. And so I think that's really cool. I think it's cool now that people are just starting to take the initiative and live with one another. I think that's much better than marriage because then you don't have all that ridiculous social implications with it. And you don't have any expectations. You just have your relationship independently, and you have to kind of get to cut off all those ties. So I think that's awesome that people are taking the initiative and living together for extended periods without marriage. That's great. But as far as like the tradition itself, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. Like, it's interesting how every culture has their own, collection and conglomeration of their own cultural aspects, and that's really interesting how we all have our unique little cultures. But for the most part, I think it's awesome how it seems as though culture is like getting beaten away almost, and that sounds bad, but don't take it to be bad. I'm just talking about the fact that like we're starting to use rationality and intelligence to dictate our culture more than tradition. And so from the aspect of admiring tradition, I guess I should say, I think it's really cool, but from the aspect of wanting to progress and see society change for the better, I think that a lot of traditions like marriage are things that we have to really reevaluate in the context of the modern world. But man, that got a little bit more in-depth than I thought it would. So, next person. A camping noob. Or wait, I just got you, you sneaky devil. All right. Kenish, with 2 N's and 2 H's. What was your worst drinking experience, or what is your preference, ass or tits? I love how it's an or question. I can pick either one. As far as my worst drinking experience, I could probably do like a whole commentary on that. It's pretty funny, actually. It's from back in high school. It wasn't my first drinking experience. It was my worst drinking. Oh, I guess that's what you asked. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was definitely my worst drinking experience. I could do a video about that. Pretty funny. It was one of the first times that I drank heavily, and it ended up going very terribly for myself, my girlfriend at the time, and a few of my friends. But, anywho. Ass or tits, I'm going to have to go with tatas on that one just because, I don't know, you can't explain why you have that preference. You just intrinsically do. I like boobies more than booties. What can I say? Easy Sparks, what is your favorite kind of toaster pastry and what flavor? I'm going to go with brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts. I would tell you that that's merely my favorite, but that would be a flagrant misrepresentation of this scenario because, well, it's the only honest way to present that is that brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts are objectively the best toaster pastry out there. And if you want me to, I could make a whole 20-minute, lecture-style video about that with like points and graphs and pie charts and facts and numbers and studies. I can go all day about brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts. Those are incredible. I love those. So that's what you need to be getting if you are looking into the toaster pastry world. Who's Casper? Sorry about the badly worded question. The character limit leads to poor English. All right. Not so much a question or a topic, but, thank you for that, sir. Johnny Bevan, your first love. All right. I mean, I'd like to answer this question honestly, but there's not really a way to gauge love, Like, if you were to ask a 17-year-old version of myself if I were in love with my current girlfriend at the time, she would say, or I would say rather, yes, I would think 100% in my heart and in my mind that I loved her. But, a few weeks after we break up, you realize all of the, things in the relationship that you didn't like and you didn't realize until afterward, after you broke up. And then suddenly you're like, man, did I really love this person at all? Or did I just really like the idea of them? And I was more attracted to, the way people would look at me if I walked around with a girl on my arm as opposed to not, or was I attracted to that and the idea or her as a person? And so you really have to think about that. So as far as first love, I would probably go out there and say that I haven't really experienced true true love yet. It like as far as like in a relationship context, of course, with my family. But I would say that more what I experienced with in high school, rather, was more of infatuation than actual love. Just really getting into the person and feeling really close to them because it's your first real experience with having a connection like that with another human being. And so it's natural to assume that the level of relationship that you're currently at is much more extreme than it really is. So that's my take on first love. I wouldn't say that I've experienced it yet. One more, Gabe Baguio. There we go. That wasn't too hard to pronounce. What is your favorite subreddit? Honestly, when I go on Reddit, I usually browse all, which is like all of them together. I do that really quick and then move on to another site or YouTube, which I do spend a lot more time on YouTube than on any site. But as far as my favorite one, I'd have to say funny or what the fuck, just because there's a good, overlap there. Because usually the stuff in what the fuck is funny, but it's also like kind of dark funny, and I like that. And it's not like so much like gore and disgusting pictures like you would expect it to be. So I'm sure some people would prefer gore and disgusting pictures, but not my cup of tea. Every time I see one of those gory, awful pics on the internet, I can't help but just imagine if that were someone that I knew or cared for, if it was me, and like just thinking of that, like every time you see like a picture of someone with like their head caved in or something disgusting on the internet, I always think like, what would it be like? Like, what if I were that person? Like, what if my head just got caved in from like a weird frozen piece of poop from an airplane that was soaring down at 1,000,000 miles an hour right now and just caved my head in, and then there was a picture taken of it by the FBI and that got leaked on the internet, and then suddenly I was known as nothing more than the guy who got his head caved in by a piece of poop that was flying through the atmosphere. And so I don't know, that kind of stuff, it messes with me. But anyway, that got off track quickly. That's all I've got to say on this for now. I will try and do some more of these to make sure that I'm answering your questions. If you enjoy these, I would appreciate a rating. That'd be cool. And if not, let me know what I can do to further cater to your entertainment needs. That's all I got to say. Love you.